of honor burst into tears when I told her I was pregnant, and it wasn't because she was happy for me. Jenna and I had been best friends since the 7th grade, and she was the first person I called when my boyfriend proposed after 6 years together. She immediately started planning everything like it was her actual job, and she was right there beside me when disaster after disaster kept hitting in the weeks before the wedding. The venue double booked us, the caterer backed out after an anonymous health department complaint, and my dress got slashed at the seamstress under mysterious circumstances. Jenna handled all of it, and I trusted her completely. So when I found out I was pregnant and called to share the news, I expected her to scream with excitement. Instead, she went completely silent, and I had to ask 3 times if she was still on the line before I heard this horrible choking sound that turned into full-on sobbing. I kept asking what was wrong, and she just kept saying she needed to go, and then the line went dead. I called her back 6 times that night, and she didn't pick up once. The next morning, I texted her asking if everything was okay, and she left me on read, which she had never done in 15 years of friendship. I drove to her apartment after work and knocked for 10 minutes straight, but she wouldn't answer even though I could see her car in the parking lot. 3 full days went by without a single word from my best friend, and I was starting to think something terrible had happened to her. On the 4th day, she finally showed up at my apartment without any warning, and when I opened the door, I barely recognized her because she looked like she hadn't slept or eaten since we last spoke. Her eyes were so red and swollen that my first thought was someone in her family had passed away. I pulled her inside and sat her down on the couch and asked her to please tell me what was going on, and she just stared at me with this expression I had never seen on her face before. It was like looking at a complete stranger wearing my best friend's skin, and something about the way her eyes moved made every hair on my arm stand straight up. I heard keys in the door, and my fiancé walked in from work, and the moment Jenna saw him, her whole face changed into something I can only describe as pure hatred, mixed with the deepest pain I have ever witnessed in another human being. He froze in the doorway and asked what was wrong, and Jenna let out this awful hollow laugh that didn't sound anything like her and said, "You didn't tell her yet, did you?" My fiancé's face went completely white, and he started stammering something about how this wasn't the right time, and I kept demanding that someone explain what was happening because I felt like I was losing my mind. Jenna reached into her purse and pulled out her phone and handed it to me without saying a single word, and when I looked at the screen, I saw a text thread with my fiancé's name at the top. The messages went back 2 years, and they were explicit enough that I had to stop reading after the first few because I thought I was going to be sick right there on my living room floor. I scrolled faster and faster through hundreds of messages, and the dates lined up perfectly with every business trip he had taken, and every girls' night Jenna had canceled at the last minute. My hands felt like they belonged to someone else as I scrolled to the most recent message from 3 days ago, sent right after I had called Jenna about the pregnancy. I looked up at my fiancé and asked him if Jenna was pregnant too, and the fact that he couldn't answer me immediately told me everything I needed to know. The message on the screen said, "She's keeping it. This changes nothing. Keep your mouth shut." Jenna started sobbing and said, "I was the one who called the venue and the caterer, and I cut your dress because I thought if enough things went wrong, you would call off the wedding, and I wouldn't have to watch you marry him." She looked me dead in the eyes and said, "We're both pregnant by him. Our babies are going to be siblings." I walked to the front door and opened it and told them both to get out and never speak to me again. My fiancé said, "I'll come back for my stuff later," like we were roommates ending a lease instead of 2 people who were supposed to get married in 18 days. Jenna tried to hug me, and I stepped back so fast she stumbled into the doorframe, and the last thing I ever said to my best friend of 15 years was, "I hope it was worth it."